So since WHEEZY has been going really crazy this year, I have to show you how to make a beat in his style. So let's get right into it, and this is how the beat sounds. So first I will show you how I made the sample, and then after that I will break down the beat. It's really simple when it comes to the whole end product, I would say. So yeah, make sure to watch till the end. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out Lucaland. The link for that is in the description. I will be dropping a new kit in February. I already got 550 sounds in there. So if you have some special things that you want to have in the kit, make sure to let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate that. And you will get a personalized discount code when you just go on the site. I would really appreciate y'all just checking it out. And please don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe, and to comment something. And I don't want to make it into too long, so let's get right into the video. So I started off with playing my own guitar, and as you can see, I chopped it up heavily, and it's really simple. I just have this pattern right here, and it sounds like this. And originally it sounded like this. So as you can see, I chopped it up, and the normal version, or the version I played without chopping it up, would have sounded like this. So yeah, it definitely took some time, but at the end it sounded really good. And as you can see right here, I'm gonna just delete that right there. I rendered it out and pitched it up by 5, put the declicking mode to generic, mode to stretch, and put it on the first mixer track. And on the first mixer track, there's this NS10 just to remove the white noise from the sample. Then this Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, the pre-delay, the decay, and the low cut. Then this simple soothe on its hard setting and the depth to 3.4. This fully parametric EQ where I just cut out some frequencies that were still too harsh. And this EQ where I just cut out some of the low lows. I boosted some of the highs, and I cut out some frequencies that I didn't really like, and I put it 12% in mono, and now the guitar is sounding like this. Then after that, I used this thing right here, which is basically just like a guitar slider. And as you can see, the recording looks really all over the place, but I chopped it up again, and I will show it to you in a second. I will just show you the effects. It's the same effects that I had on the first mixer track, but for the reverb, I had a little bit more of the mix and a little bit more decay, and I think a little bit less of the pre-delay. And it's really simple. It's just these 4 notes right here, and then 2 notes in the other 4 bars, and these slides, because as you can see right here, I didn't change anything. I sounded like this. Then after that, I went right into Contact, and as you can see, I picked the Celesta preset out of the Contact Factory library, and I laid down this very simple pattern, and it just contains this chord right here, which basically contains a D and a G, and then I just copied it up, then an A and A sharp, and then a D again, and then it just goes up basically to the same thing again. And I just switch up the D note because it's half as long, but then I have this A sharp note, which I then rendered out, and as you can see, I pitched one up by 1 whole octave, and the other one I just left it how it was. And I have this channel pitch automation right here because as you can see, I have the pitch range to 1 and the pitch range to 1 right here as well. And as you can see with this pattern right here, if I go down by 1 semitone, it's still in the key. So that's what I did. I basically let the Celesta slide, and it just sounds so good. And I'm gonna show it to you, but first of all, I'm gonna show you all the effects. I have this RC20 on there with the Vinyl 1 preset. I just had it on for the wobble and the EQ. Then this simple fresher with these settings right here. This Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, the decay, and the low cut. This simple soothe on its default settings. This EQ where I just cut out some of the lows, and I added 31% in stereo, and now the bells are sounding like this. Then for the next thing, I used labs, and as you can see, I used the soft piano preset, and I left it on its default settings, and I just laid down this very simple pattern which contains this A, and then it goes down from a D to an A again, and then a C and then D. And I basically copied this thing right here over and put it right here, and then I just copied the whole thing over but switched it up at the end, as you can see right here. I randomized the velocities, which you can do with Alt and R, and I strummed it, I think. Yeah, I strummed it, which you can do with Alt and S, and it's really simple, and it's very repetitive as well, besides at the end, and it sounds like this. And for the effects, it's really simple. I just have this simple reverb on there with these settings right here. Then this simple EQ, and I panned it 25% to the right, and that's all for the effects on this piano. Then for the next thing, I used this June 6 from Maturia, and I used the Little Big preset, and I just turned on the arpeggio and had the rate to 1/24. And as you can see, I just laid down the simple G minor chord and just copied it up, as you can see right here. And it's basically just a really simple arpeggio with these effects on there. I have this EQ on there just to remove like some of the like muddy frequencies. Then this Aerial Vinyl Stereo with the default preset, I just turned down the noise, the crackle, and the clicks. This RC20 with the Vinyl 1 preset just for the distortion, magnetic, and EQ. This Valhalla Vintage Burp with these settings right here. This Simple Soothe on its default settings, I just turned this knob from soft to hard and the depth to 3.0. And I had this EQ on there where I just cut out some of the lows and ducked some of the highs. And that's really everything I have on there for the effects, and it sounds like this. Now for the next thing, I used Omnisphere and I used one of the Voice Choir presets. As you can see right here, it's the Voice Choir's R's. And as you can see, it's like really simple. I just have the D and the G again and then just copied it up. And this basically all the time, but I copied it up right here again, but just this D, I think. That's basically all I did, and it's really, really simple, and it sounds like this. And for the effects on this simple choir, I just have the simple delay with these settings right here. And this simple EQ where I just cut out a lot of the lows and a lot of the highs just to duck it more into the background. And then I went into my new kit, and as you can see right here, I've been working on it since November. So it will be like a really, really fire kit. As you can see, it has all of these sounds right here. It has almost 100 phrases. It will have samples, accents, and everything else. But I went into the Extras tab, and as you can see, there is this texture vinyl, and that's what I used. I put the mode to stretch, declicker mode to generic, and it's basically just a simple vinyl texture, which sounds like this. And then for the last thing, I have this Gabi Rickenbacker bass with the Tweetman preset. And as you can see, I just used the root note from my original guitar, which is in G. And that's all I did. I randomized the velocities, which you can see right here, but just like slightly. And the guitar bass is sounding like this. And for the effects on this guitar bass, I have this Simple Soothe on there with the hard setting at the depth to 6.6. Then this Decapitator where I had the drive to about 2.5, the tone a little bit more to dark, and the style to E. Then this Simple EQ where I just cut out like the muddy lows and ducked like the, I would say, bass frequencies, but just like a tiny bit. And I cut out some of the highs, and I have it 100% in mono. And then for my mastering chain, it's really simple. I have this Abbey Road Vinyl Stereo on there with this preset which I can't pronounce. I turned down the noise, the crackle, and the clicks. Then this L1 limiter stereo just to make the sample louder. This sound shifter pitch stereo where in this case I pitched the sample up by 3. This simple hyper chorus where I have it on its default preset and the mix to 8%. This simple EQ where I just duck some of the lows again, or like the bass frequencies I would say. And just this simple soothe just to clean up the sample like a little bit. And now I'm gonna show y'all the sample with and without the mastering chain. And first of all, this is the sample without the mastering chain. And now this is the finished sample and the sample with the mastering chain. And now for the beat breakdown, it's really simple. I just dragged in the sample, put the mode to stretch, trimmed up to 100% and put it on the first mixer track, and there's just a simple low cut right here. And then for the hi-hat pattern, it's still like really simple. I just tried to create like a bounce, and as you can see at the end, I just left it basically open. And I have some empty spaces and some roads right here and some lower notes just to create like a cool bounce. But it's still like a really simple hi-hat pattern, which sounds like this. Then for the next thing, I have this basic clap pattern with the Luca Late Night clap out of the Starstruck multi-kit, but it's just like the default clap pattern, which I don't really have to show y'all. Then after that, I have this room clap just to accent the claps and the hi-hats, and it's like really simple, but it still sounds really cool and gives the beat like a whole lot of texture, and it sounds like this. Then for the next thing, I have this punch opener, which is really simple. It always just hits on the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Basically just to make the 808 hit harder. And one of these openers is sounding like this. And now I'll show you these two percussions right here. And first of all, the lighter percussion, it sounds like this right here. And then the open percussion, which is basically like the hi-hat replacement, I would say in this case, just sounds like this. I'm gonna show you all the pattern from the open percussion, and both these together are sounding like this. And now for the 808s and kicks, I use Sluka Bass 808, which is in my new kit, which you can see right here as well. And I basically just laid down a very simple pattern on the B notes, and I switch it up like a little bit at the end of these 4 bars, as you can see right here. I have this G and this F sharp, and the same thing right here, but just with an D as well. And I laid down this very simple kick pattern with this kick right here, which is very loud, but I think it matches just like the whole vibe of the beat. And then I have this high accent 808, which is in the kit as well. And as you can see right here, it's obviously like a higher accent 808, and that's what I did with it. It's like very simple still. I just have like this progression right here all the time, and then this progression right here. And then I have this simple intro, which as you can see, some of these drums just cut out for some time. And all in all, it's really simple, and that's all I did for the beat. And the finished beat is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if you had enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help me, and it would really mean a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out Lucaland. The link for that is in the description. You will get a personalized 15% discount code when just going onto the site. I would really appreciate that. So if you want to level up, check it out. And I don't want to keep you out too long, so please make sure to leave a comment, to subscribe and to like, and to check out Lucaland. And yeah guys, see y'all next Sunday.